I heard a magical teacher say that there's more to witchcraft than casting spells. And whereas I respect her and hold her in high esteem, but I teach my students something a bit different. I view everything the witch does as a spellcast. Every thought, every action, every emotion, every single thing that the witch does is a spell. Every single thing is spell casting. So to us, shadow work is spell casting. Journaling is spell casting. Dealing with our day-to-day situations, all of that is a type of spell casting. See, a spell casting is an intention that is pushed into the universe that is used or is using cosmic elemental forces to bring about a desired result. Every single action we take as witches should be deliberate. Every thought that enters the mind should have a deliberate reason for being there. When we go to sleep at night and we're getting ready to enter this alpha state, we go to bed with the sole purpose of casting spells. All throughout the night, we're dreaming and crafting and casting spell work. When we wake up in the morning, we cast the spell for the rest of the day. When we're engaged in sexual behavior, when we're engaged in eating, when we're drinking any fluid, we turn that drink into a potion. I don't care if it's a diet cola. It doesn't really matter. Whatever it is we're doing is a spell cast. There are incantations, but every action is a type of incantation. So we are very careful of what we're listening to, who we're talking to, what we're talking about, understanding that every word that comes out of our mouth is a spell. And when you live your life from this place, when you're intentionally casting a directed, deliberate incantation, the spell hits hard because you have cultivated your whole life to be spell work. It is important that we understand this concept that everything we do is spell work. So our lives is magic. Now, a lot of practitioners, what they do is that they separate magic from their lives or from the so-called mundane things that they have to do. When they go to work, they say, well, that's a mundane thing. When they go pay their bills, well, that's some mundane stuff. But in the Abiyaz Rim, in Aslaka, with my students, in my convents, we do not see magic that way. Now, when we go to work, we see that we have to put up our protections not to be infected by bad memetics. When we're in the car, on the way to work, there's so much negative energy out there, we have to bubble that car in a protective shield, not only for our physical safety, but for our emotional safety. When we're eating food, we're casting spells upon this food that it brings about our better health. When we're drinking fluids, we're doing the same thing. We're doing so consciously. We're casting spells on the food, and we're grateful for the food, no matter what it is that we're eating. So with me and with my students, every single thing is magical. It's not mundane. In fact, the greatest gift of the magician is that we can take what was called mundane, and what I coined this word, we can sacrify it. What we do then is we'll take a stick, turn it into a wand. We'll take a garment and enchant the thing. We'll take a regular house and bring about a hunting in it. We will deal with these mundane things and bring them into the magical realm, where mundane things are no more mundane to the mind of the magician, but everything is magical. The sunrise magic, the sunset magic, the moonrise magic, the moonset magic. Everything is magical, and everything is a cast spell. Whether you're using your lips and you're speaking rhythmically in rhyme, or you're just talking about something. So when you talk bad about somebody, you are sending out curses toward that person. When you talk about good toward somebody, you're sending out blessings toward that person. Every conversation is a spell. Every thought is a spell. Now, the way many of us think, we have to do a lot of magical cancellation because we think a lot of negative things. This is why it is so important that you learn to control your thoughts. Now, there's some people who actually believe that you cannot control your thinking, but you can. See, whatever goes in is going to come out. If you're letting junk go in, junk will come out. This is why it's important that you listen to magical teachings, magical music, talk to magical people, so magic comes in. I also think, in not my so humble opinion, this is why most of the magical world sucks at magic. Because you talk about magic for maybe an hour or 15 minutes, or you go through your TikTok stuff, or you try to cast a spell that lasts about 10, 15 minutes, and then you spend the rest of your life in the realms with muggles and no-magists. You're listening to their shows, you're into their lives, you're following celebrities and what celebrities are saying, and all of this stuff is hindering your growth. I don't do this, and I'm not saying that I'm better than anybody. Hell, live your life the way you want to live it. But if you want powerful magic, then you want to surround yourself with magic. Listen, I am a golfer, okay? I don't hang out at basketball courts. I don't have my 14 golf clubs at the basketball court trying to hit my golf ball through a basketball hoop. No, what I do is I go to a golfing driving range, or I go to the golf course. I talk with golfers. I watch golf on TV. I look at things. I practice golf. I don't practice basketball. I practice golf because I'm a golfer. I cannot expect to be a scratch golfer. That's a good one. If I'm always at the basketball court. Now, I can go there every now and then and watch a game, but I spend the majority of my time on the course. If you're going to be a practitioner, you cannot spend the majority of your time just hanging out with the no-magists, and that's your life. You have to spend time in magic. You have to spend time around practitioners, around teachers, around people that can help you with your craft. That's the only way to grow more powerful. So to the mage, everything is magic. And we work on this magic diligently for the serious practitioner. But it's your choice. You have the decision to make if you want to be weak in magic or if you want to be strong in magic. If you want to be strong in magic, listen to this over and over and over and over again. Listen to all of my teachings. My teachings will make you strong if you listen to them. You know, Bob Proctor said when he was learning his work, he would listen to the same record over and over and over again. And he would read the same book over and over and over again. If you are determined, you will do this all the time. But if you just like how magic sounds, if you just like talking about magic, but never really becoming a powerful magician, then hell, do what you're doing. But if you want to change your life, if you want magic like the movies, if you want to be able to cast a spell and it hits, if you want to be formidable, then to hell with trying to pattern ourselves after the mundanes. I know some of you probably go to these witches' balls and stuff like that. I hate them personally. If you like them, it's your business. We can still be friends. I don't like stuff like that. I don't like that the only type of magic we do is when we're dressing up like our favorite magical practitioner we saw on HBO. No, it should be more than that. You should have real formidable power. But you can't do that if the only reading you're doing is tarot reading, and you're not studying, and you're not setting your mind and your intentions and your heart to be a strong mage. By listening to these teachings over and over and over again, and not just mine, any teachings that's feeding your soul and your spirit. You listen to them and become the practitioner you're destined to be. At least that's my advice. This is Abayan. Until next time, blessed be all.